Okay, guys. Now we've going to move on to the 6B pencil, right? And this is even going to be a softer graphite. So if you press semi-hard, you're going to get a dark line, right? And oh, there's one other thing I want to say here. Um, I think is just a tendency. We try to draw things the size we see them. So the size I'm seeing it right now is it's going to eat up the page this big, right? And then I'm going to have to draw these last three in charcoal pencil smaller. So I think about things like that. That's what I'm talking about when I talk about building your drawing knowledge base, how you're going to move through a drawing, whether it's a study sheet like this or a big drawing of, let's say, an interior or a landscape. Um, so let's think about the process being more open-ended in terms of how we plan things, where we place things, the type of marks we're making, what our mindset is when we're drawing. If you're hating it, it's going to come out. If you're loving it, and I got to tell you something, I love that object because I carved that object, Jesus, way back in like 2004. Yeah, 2004. I carved that object, maybe even before that. Anyway, um, so I'm going to think about, I want to group these pencil ones together so I can go like, oh yeah, 2B, 4B, 6B. And I'm going to work in here, and I'm probably going to try to work a little smaller. So once again, I'm holding the pencil like this, like a violin bow. I'm going to allow my fingernails to rest on the paper. Even if you're working flat on a tabletop, you can still do that, right? Um, so anyway, I'm going to start from the center of this object and work out. Okay, so I'm going to start down in here. I feel good about that. I come across, and right away I see that the graphite is darker than this, softer than this. So I'm going to go up. I'm going to come down where I think it comes down. I'm feeling the flow. This thing's getting big right away, which is all right. In there, there. Right, we're going to come through here. I'm getting just the general shape overall. Up in here's the flange. It's in there. Flares way out. And then comes into the bottom. Right? You see that starting to take, I hope you can see that starting to take form. A little bit of a turnover up in there. And then over in here, it's a triangular shape at the point of that flange. Comes down. I see where it goes behind there. I'm happy with that. In here, this guy needs to be a little bit more definitive in here. There's a shadow over in here, it seems. There's the flange in there. There's a shadow in here. A shadow in here, like I said, coming down into here. There's also all these hash marks in here from chiseling it out. So, feel free to get in there every once in a while and do something with that like I did there. That talks a lot about it. The form, it talks somewhat about the form is what I should say, or what's happening in there. Right, in there. And say I'm really into this drawing and I want to take it a little bit longer, right? Which is fine, right? And I go in here, see how I'm just thinking about the values I see in there, right? Keeping my hand, maybe there's a couple slash marks down in here I like. This guy seems to have a little bit of a harder edge in there, so I'll do there. That shadow comes in there. I'll get back onto the side of the graphite instead of relying solely on the point, right? Oh, there's somewhat of a shadow up in here at spots. Now, say I want to do something in here, and I go like, you know what? I like these shadows in here. So there, and then there's a shadow in there. I don't know if you guys can pick it up in there. There's a shadow idea in there, and then I'm going to walk right across in here and create this shadow. As it's darker underneath, and as it comes out, it gets lighter, right? So this is our 6B pencil. You can see the difference in the marks, right? Building up. It takes more to build up in there. I'd really have to work this. Softer graphite, I get these great marks in here, right? Whoops. And then 4B right there. And I get great marks in there. So you got three different materials, sensibilities, right? And then when you combine them, that's great. So the next ones, we're going to do the charcoal. And I'm serious. I really want to get all 6 on one page. That's serious, okay? So I know I need to go smaller, so I'll probably push that object away from me or draw smaller objects, right? Which is totally all right because I'm practicing and it doesn't matter. There's not one way to practice, guys. There's tons of ways to practice, all right? So we'll see you in a few minutes.